got the final piece to the puzzle. Is that the right term? Yeah, it didn't sound right when it came out. Anyways, we got our leaf springs in. Check these things out. And a cat. Hey guys, you know what time it is. It's the map. So if you're new here, I'd just like to know where you're listening from. Give me a comment and I'll put a red pin on your spot on the map. So represent your city, your state, your country, whatever. Just let me know. And this week we got a lot. Last week was big. I got 14 of them to put up there. So let's get through this really quick. First up today, we got Flint, Michigan. Next up is our second one from Springfield, Missouri. And now Utica, New York. Las Vegas, Nevada. Monson, Massachusetts. Wamego, Kansas. Spirit Lake, Idaho. Augusta, Kansas. Happy Valley, Oregon. McAllister, Oklahoma. Raleigh, North Carolina. Henderson, Nevada. Houston, Texas. And last, Nova Scotia, Canada. Yeah, thank you everybody for all the comments. We're doing really good. We picked off quite a few new states on here, so that's cool. Like I said, I want to get this thing covered bright red, so let me know where you're at. So what we got here is the front leaves, and this is the old front that I brought in just for comparison. And this one is a rear leaf. I'm not bringing in the old rear leaf because they're over 100 pounds each, and I don't feel like dragging them around, and I threw them out in the side yard. So the first thing that makes these leaves special, because they're the custom ORD leaves, is, I would say, is how thin the leaves are. So notice there's a fat stack, but they're super thin leaves, to where we go over here, we have 3 fat leaves. So this is actually going to flex more than this fat stack here. And then you'll also notice how much more of an arch. That's not how much lift I'm getting. That'd be like 10-inch, 12-inch lift. I'm not doing that much. But because these springs are so much softer, they compress so much more just by putting just the weight of the vehicle on them. So these are supposed to be about 5-inch, but we'll see how that works out when we get it on. Another thing we can notice is these have the anti-friction pads in between. I don't know if you can see that, little plastic pads that go in between a bunch of the leaves, and that helps them slide a lot easier and whatnot. So I'm pretty excited to see how these work. ORD gets these made from Alkin Springs in Colorado. You can look them up on the internet if you want. They're pretty legit company. But yeah, these things are cool. You can see the rears look like they have probably maybe one less leaf. I don't know, I didn't really count the leaves or anything. And they're slightly longer, obviously, because they're the rear. So yeah, we got to put these away because I'm not putting these on right away. We got a lot of work to do to the truck. I got a lot of frame brackets and stuff to remove. So tonight I'm going to start grinding off rivets and get some of these brackets replaced. I'm going to start with the hardest one that I think is going to be is the rear shackle mount on the front spring rear passenger side, because it's so close to the exhaust header there. So I think that's going to be the hardest one to deal with. So we're going to start with that one and get it out of the way. First thing we got to do is take off this plastic piece that's covering up where we need to get to. So let's get that out of there. Couple screws. I know there's some plastic bits back here somewhere. One. Whew, shot out like a bullet. 2, no, broke. Good enough. Oh, they both broke. And of course a bunch of trash up there. Looks good though. Alright, looking up there, we got no rust. That's nice. Body looks good. So what we're needing to do is get to that top of that shackle there, which we've exposed. Looks like it's covered in mud or something right now. I can barely tell. But yeah, you can see, you probably can't see. And there's rivets, 1, 2, and 3. I think there's just 3, maybe 4. 4 rivets I gotta grind off and then punch through. And then hopefully that factory bracket comes out without having to do much from the inside. I guess I should probably take the shackle off first too, huh? Do you have an object like this in your shop or your home where it's just a sticker bomb? This is my beer fridge, as you can see. But the thing that makes these cool is the stickers. So if you would like a Poots Garage sticker, I have a bunch of them. Bam! I am not selling these, I'm giving these away. So all you gotta do is be a subscriber, like my video, send a comment, I don't care what the comment is on the video, and send me your address at pootsgarage@gmail.com. It's easy, pootsgarage@gmail.com. Pretty simple, right? And I'll send it out to you for free. I really don't care. I just want to give these out to people. Well, I took that old header wrap off finally. That stuff I put on a few years ago, it's just hanging on there. So get it out of the way. You can see it doesn't really do much to help rust issues. But yeah, these headers are pretty rough. Anyways, this is our shackle here. You can see it's got all sorts of place. The bushing is completely shot. So I need to get up in here, hold that side, and we're gonna pull the nut off. I might be able to sneak the bolt out the top. If not, then I'll just have to leave the bolt in there and this half while we work on this side of the bracket. Well, at least it's not all rusted in there. That's a good sign. Old shackle. All this stock stuff. Let's see if we can get this old one out. Ooh, looks like it'll just sneak out the top. Perfect. Well, I'm actually glad to see that. These bolts actually aren't too bad. I wonder if these were replaced at a certain point in time when this axle was swapped out. Alright, well, let's move on. This just ain't working, so I was trying to get this lower one off. So I had an issue with, hold on, let me turn this TV off.
Alright, so we're already having technical difficulties.
So, my biggest issue is I don't have the right tool. I used to own an air hammer, which would be great. You put the chisel bit on there, and you should be able to just cut right through the top of those rivets and then put the other punch bit on there and then push it through. But my air hammer disappeared somewhere along the lines. I haven't had to use it in years. I almost remember having to throw it out because it like fell apart or something stupid. But anyways, I'm not gonna do this the hard way like this. I'm not gonna grind all night. So I think I'm gonna have to stop. In the morning, I'll have to go pick up a new tool. I'll have to go down to Napa Auto and see if they got one. And other than that, I can't do much else tonight. And now it's the next day. I ran out to the store this morning and grabbed a new tool, so let's show you what I got. And this is what I was missing. I used to own one of these, but last night I couldn't find it, so we ran out to Napa Auto Parts, my favorite auto parts store, to get a new one. This thing cost me $80, which I didn't want to spend that much, but it is what it is. I need it. I have no idea how these Carlisle tools are, if they're any good or not. I don't think I own any of them. This is a medium duty, which hopefully should work. It seems to be about the same size as like what I used to use. A heavy duty or a big one would be a little more ideal for these. So we'll see how well this one works. It's pretty nice. One thing I don't like already is on these edges right here, when my finger's on there, I can feel it like cutting into my skin. Those machined edges are so sharp. So I'm gonna either cover them with tape or maybe I can get some sandpaper in there to soften them up a little bit. But yeah, that's it. Comes with a spring, and I got my old deals over here, the chisels and whatnot that I need to use. So let's see how well this works. Like butter. I'm gonna cut them off without cutting them. There we go, much easier. So this is our old unit. As can see this is the bushing, this is the whole piece that was inside the frame, and this is where the shackle bolt goes through. You can see where we cut those rivet heads off and drove them out. And I just wanted to show the new unit we're putting in. This thing is much beefier. Let's see how much bigger the bushing is. The bushing alone is a lot bigger, and I think it allows us to use the bigger bolts and whatnot. And then the back side, when we reinstall this hole is significantly smaller. That's actually going through the frame than this. We actually have to cut the frame out a little bit to fit it a little better. But yeah, we're moving ahead finally. Probably noticed I took off the front shock mounts also. Those need to come off. So those rivets are actually pretty tough. It's like they used a harder rivet for the steel brackets than they did those cast iron deals for the springs. So now we're looking at the rear, and I gotta get, this just doesn't need to be here. This is an old exhaust mount. There's one on each side, and I got no use for it. And it's just, I've always seen it there and thought it was annoying looking, because how it just hangs there. So I'm gonna cut those off. And then we gotta take these big brackets off in the rear, because we got the replacement pieces for that, for the shackle flip. So let's get to it. Forgot to mention, with these steel brackets, with how hard those ones up front were, and I got a lot more rivets back here, I'm gonna cut some crosses in them with the old angle grinder with the cutoff wheel. Anyways, and that should help these break off in pieces more, so I should be able to cut through a little easier with the when I use the air hammer. Through the power of YouTube, we're done for the evening. So let's give you a closer look. There you can see our frame is looking pretty clean. Got rid of them shock mounts, got rid of the shackle mounts, all that stuff on the front end. Come out here to the back end, and we got the exhaust hangers are gone. Those rear spring plates are gone, or spring mounts. And I think that's all I really did up here. So yeah, it was a lot of work. This is everything we took off today. Nothing too impressive, right? Just a bunch of rusty parts. It is really cool though to be able to replacing some of this really worn out stuff. These bushings are shot and just the rust and stuff like that. Bam! These are the shock mounts that we pulled off. Nothing too special there, right? Those shock mounts, those little guys are being replaced with these monstrosities. These stock little shackles here, these are being replaced with these real heavy duty units. Nice urethane bushings, bigger bolts, all that good stuff. And then these rear spring hangers, see how they worked, and these was a angle bracket that went on the back side of them. So those went that way on the truck. The new ones, oh, these are hard, go this way, because it's a shackle flip. So those will replace those units. So I can't wait to start getting some of this stuff bolted on. It's gonna be so cool. I just can't wait to start getting stuff back on the truck. It's gonna be a good feeling. Well, since it's my Sunday night basically, wait, I probably shouldn't be drinking on Sunday night, right? But I'm not gonna be working on this truck anymore tonight, so I just gotta clean this place up. It's a mess. I try to clean up every weekend. I think you know, keeping your shop clean and whatnot is real important. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, completely spick and span and shiny and whatever, but just keep all your tools put away, and every time you finish a project or a weekend or something, try to put your stuff away. You know, I feel like that's a good thing to do. Kind of helps keep you organized and keeps you moving a little bit. You know, you're not always looking for stuff and whatnot. So Hey, that's a pooch tip, I guess, for you. But yeah, we're done here, so let's clean this place up a little bit. Hey guys, so we got some extra time here, so let's talk, let's hang out. Just want to go over how a few things are going around here and kind of let you know what, I don't know, the direction we're going on a few things. So obviously first is the Chevy that we're working on. We're plugging away on that. I'm doing what I can on weekends. It's hard to get motivated to do these things sometimes, you know, when you're out here by yourself and stuff, and it's kind of hard to keep moving, you know. You kind of want to just be lazy and go, you know, I just want to go lay down on the couch and whatever, but maybe it's just turning 40 years old and I just have no energy anymore. But it's a struggle. I'm trying. I'm keeping this up though. We're going. But yeah, this truck, I think next week, I'm going to start prepping to start installing some of these brackets. Got a few things ready to go. I think we can get the big boys on. I do got to do a few more things, clean some stuff up before, but yeah, I think we're ready to start putting some stuff together, so that's kind of cool, kind of exciting. Hopefully next weekend I'll be a little more motivated to jump out the gate and start working on this stuff. But the other thing we got going on is the Corvette. We haven't made much video on that in the last several weeks, so I do have a nice fancy new shifter. It's an MGW. It's a really nice unit. It's so smooth. I can't wait to get this on. But yeah, kind of. That thing's been kind of sitting. I actually haven't driven it in like 2 or 3 weeks now because the registration expired. I kind of screwed up. Out here in Nevada, when you change got a cramp. When you change registration from out of state, such as me moving here, you gotta do a VIN inspection, and you have to do that at the DMV basically, or I can have a sheriff come out and do the VIN inspection here. Well, the problem is, I accidentally let the registration run out, and now I have nothing. I don't even have my Washington registration anymore. It's all old, and I don't want to drive this thing. I gotta drive, it's like a 45-minute drive to get to my DMV, because we don't have one local here, and I'm not going to Reno, because that's a whole show over there. So I go out to Yarrington, and it's kind of a get in and out kind of deal out there. So it's worth the longer drive to not have to deal with the big DMV BS. But yeah, so since I can't drive that thing out there because it's just too far with no registration, I don't want to risk it. I gotta arrange to have Sheriff come out here and inspect my VIN. It's kind of a dumb thing in my book. It's like, what are you trying to hide, you know? But so I gotta have him come out here. But then I thought, well, if I gotta have him come out here, I might as well have him do the Chevy because I haven't registered that yet, and my trailer. All this stuff is registration's expired on now. So I'll just try and have him come out here and do all 3 VINs at once. And yeah, so that's kind of why I haven't been driving the Corvette. I screwed up. I let it expire on accident. So that's where we're at on that. So hopefully we'll get that taken care of. Maybe this coming week I'll try and get this situated. I also just want to let you guys know that I'm trying really hard at this YouTube thing. It is exhausting. I never thought that just doing the videos I'm doing right now, which to me aren't anything like extravagant, you know. To me that's still kind of a bare minimum type video, like bare minimum editing. Content's kind of like, I don't know, I'm trying to make things exciting, but it is really hard to keep this up. I tell you what, to try and have you have to keep your weekends open. Like, you have to film for a day or two to have enough content to be able to make a video, you know, and then you have to I spend sometimes four more hours editing this stuff, sometimes 6 hours editing these videos. It takes up so much time, but it's kind of fun in a way. It's kind of like a challenge. It's like challenging fun, you know, and it's completely different, something completely out of the realm, and it's like out of my comfort zone. So it's kind of cool forcing myself to do weird stuff like this. And then yeah, we're plugging along, and I hope that you guys are noticing the effort that I put into this, because I sure noticed it. But the channel is picking up a lot of speed. It's doing really good. I'm hoping that we'll be on goal to be monetized. I know people don't really talk about that much, but to hopefully be monetized from YouTube come the end of the year here, you know, by Christmas basically. Hopefully. It's the goal. The one video that really popped off was the Hot August Nights, and I really need another one of those videos to pop off. But things like these projects, I notice the more I'm working on them, the more they're getting noticed by people, and then maybe YouTube's putting them out there more too, pushing them for me. So I think this project is slowly picking up steam, and hopefully everybody is enjoying that. So that's the direction we're going, and if anybody has any suggestions on how to make these videos better or whatever, you know, let me know. Love to hear it.